I am Agustin from Argentina. I'm working at Blue Park. I'm an Odoo developer at Blue Park. During one of our projects, we realized that it would be nice to handle one of the issues or something that the customer wanted to solve. We figured that the best architecture to handle this, it was the blockchain. And because we wanted to share information between different organizations with different ERPs, with different software, and you want to share the information, but also store it in the ledger, right? And this is the blockchain. So I will go through this small talk, trying to share my framework setup for this work. Also, I would talk a little bit about Ethereum, Avalanche, and blockchain's concepts, maybe. And then I will show you the Odoo ABEX module. And then one thing that maybe we can discuss before I start developing is our next steps, which blockchain should we consider to do this. I mean, right now I developed this module to integrate. I mean, this is kind of connector to Ethereum and Avalanche, but this is also possible to do with other blockchains. But before doing it, it would be nice to hear you about, if someone of you knows about it, would be nice. I prefer to, at least from my small research, I will go for EPFS blockchain to do the document sharing, and that's it. I mean, for the introduction of this talk. Okay, the module is in this repository. I can share this later in the slide, as one of you suggests. This is a small module that allows you to connect to AVAX, but also it works with Ethereum, because Ethereum, I mean, Avalanche is AVM compatible. So you can see if you access to AVAX folder, and this is something easy to use because it's a Docker file, also a Docker Compose. And here is how you can deploy in your local, and you can start playing with this AVAX and blockchain feature very, very fast. The build takes a while, maybe 20 minutes. So that's why I don't present in this live. Let me share screen here. This is the project, and the important part here is that we have in the Docker file, if you want to, for example, deploy this outside Docker or in your local, or maybe in Kubernetes, and you want to build this in another way, the important thing to consider is that you need to take care of the Solidity compiler. Otherwise, you can't compile in Odoo without this Solidity library, and also the Python library needed to do the compilation. So once you have this installed, you can, as I did before the meeting, you can just run Docker Compose app. The first time it will build the image, but as I did it before, it's just start quickly. And once you have the project running, you can access to it in your local address, local host, and you need to configure. I mean, I added in the demo data. If you create a database with demo data, you will find these two connectors, but you can use all the connectors you want. In the case of Ethereum, I'm using Infura as an API to connect to one of the Ethereum nodes. Let me, here it is. As you can see here, you have multiple endpoints. if you choose the connector or you create the connector with the mainnet and you add this endpoint to the connector in the Odoo module, you will be able to directly interact with the mainnet in Ethereum, but it is like the production environment. You need Ethereum to pay for different transactions when you want to write something. I don't know if you know, but if you want to read something in the blockchain, it's for free. You don't have to pay it. But if you want to store something or change something, or for example, transfer funds to another account, you need to pay for it. You need to pay gas for it. So once you create the database, you will access to the connectors. And in this case, you can just run a small test, so just a test to prove that you are really connected to in this case, for Avalanche Fushi chain. This is like the testnet for AVAX. And here you have the service URL. This is the endpoint, the symbol, and the explorer. This is important if you want to check for some transaction or something external from Odoo, because in this module, everything is logged in the chatter, so you can access just with one click. But also you have here the fund URL, because once you create an account, you need to fund your account, because otherwise you won't be able to transact in the blockchain. So let me show you an account here. I have these two different accounts, one for the Ethereum Robstein blockchain, and the other one for the AVAX Fushi chain. Also, I create a smart contract with this module, but this is very, very easy to do. For this, when you are starting with a blockchain, with Solidity particularly, you can access to the Remix IDE, and this is an open source project that allows you to deploy, build, and do whatever you want in the web. As you can see, when you start in this URL, you will find this exactly the same thing that I'm showing you. And this is a smart contract, as you can see. The first instruction here defines the version of the compiler that this smart contract should work with. This is the instruction. This is pragma solidity between this version and this one. This is a super small contract where you can store an integer, a uint number, and you have two different functions: one to store a value, and the other one to retrieve it. So what I did was to copy this smart contract and paste it, this smart contract in this tab. And once I did that, I can compile. I will create another exactly the same sample. I will deploy this in Fushi C because it's faster. You can interrupt me whenever you want. If you want to ask me something, it's totally fine. So once you have this in your Odoo, you can compile this, and this will call the compiler. And once the compile is done, you will find here the functions available for this smart contract, but also this compile function provides you from the AVI code and the bytecode. This is necessary when you want to deploy the smart contract. If you only want to interact with the smart contract, you only need the AVI code and the address of the smart contract. But also it depends on the smart contract if this is a public smart contract, or you need, for example, the ownership to do certain things. This is a super easy, simple smart contract. That's why we don't care about the ownership. Once I have this, I can deploy it. I need to select the account. This is check. I don't have it. Okay. No, no, I will create. This is test. We test. Blockchain user. We can link the user to the account. I can save this. Now I can access to this account and generate. Test. I'm generating the account in AVAX. And check here the account. Here is the account. Once I generate the account, this create an account actually in the blockchain. This is for free, but once you create the account, you need to add funds. Here we have the funds URL. So I will copy my address here, and I will add funds to it. Something like this. This is a warning. This is a beta faucet. Funds are not real. That's it. We have here the transaction ID, but also we can access to it. We can check our balance here, but also we can explore our account from here. So I will press here, get balance. Now we have 10 AVAX. And if we click here on explore URL, we will access to the AVAX Explorer. It's different from Ethereum. As you can see here, this is the account, our account, and we have 10 AVAX. This is the same transaction ID that we received here. This. And okay, now if I go back to the contract, I can okay, function. Now we can retrieve the value from the blockchain. This is important to mention. For example, in this smart contract, this is another smart contract. We received this previous store integer number 77, but I can change this directly from Odoo. I can store a new value using the Ethereum. Test. Oh, this is an issue. I don't have funds in this account. This is an issue. Let me check one thing. Sorry, I was using the wrong account. This is I need to use. This is working in Fushi net, and I was using an Ethereum account. That's why this fails, even if I need to improve the code. Next one. Let me set this number. Now we store in the blockchain this number, and we can after we can check here in the chat that we have the log of this transaction, and we can check it also in the Explorer. And we can see the gas price we pay. This is nano AVAX, super small amount. And one thing I wanted to mention about AVAX is that it's AVM compatible, but it's also a third generation blockchain technology. So it uses a different consensus protocol. It's super fast and cheap. And if I go back here, I can retrieve the value. And now we have the number 22 that we previously set. So this is how you can interact through Odoo. This is super easy to do. I mean, you only need to clone the repository, run Docker Compose, and then create a database with demo data. And you can create directly from here the account, and then you can create the contract and link the contract to an account. And once you have that, you can you can interact with your smart contract. Also, I wanted to share with you that this is the important part that we mentioned, that this is a gateway. Why? Because the information is really stored in the blockchain. It's not only stored in Odoo. We have the values here, maybe the API and address of our smart contract, but the data is stored in the blockchain. So this is like a door to develop another kind of features, like the document sharing. We want to share the different documents, no matter which ERP you are using, or no matter which Odoo instance you are using. You should be able to share information, and it shouldn't depend on the ERP you are using, neither the instance. And the advantage of this is that once you deploy the information in the blockchain, it will be there forever. And if your company is no longer there, or one of our customers is no longer in the field, you will be able to access to the previous transaction and information if this is available. Of course, this depends on the ownership or how you want to deploy the solution, but this is possible. And we can interact with a smart contract, as I mentioned before, if you have the AVI and also the address of the smart contract. For example, if I want to access to this smart contract, I can go to Remix ID. Let me check if I need to use inject with Web3, but I need to switch to another to Chrome, where I have the MetaMask. I need to access to the account here. Just a second. Don't remember the password, and this is good. Okay, MetaMask is a wallet that works as an add-on to or plugin to Chrome. In this case, you can set private networks, but also you have the default configurations for all or most of the Ethereum blockchains. I added here the Fushisi chain wallet. As you can see here, I have this sample account with 33 AVAX. So this is important because once I access to Remix, as I told you before, if you enter this URL, you will access directly to Ethereum, to Remix ID, sorry. once you are here, you can use the inject web3 module. Here you can select the inject web3 environment, and as you can see, this address matched the one I have here. It's exactly the same address because the process is linked to my MetaMask account, wallet, and also my account. So, for example, I can first I can show you that we can transfer funds from this account to my the account that I already have in my Odoo instance. Let's check it. Account. For example, this account. I want to send funds to this account. If before we can check, we have only 12 AVAX, so I can send funds to this account through MetaMask. Send. I paste here the address and I will send 2 AVAX. Confirm. Oh, I think I sent. Yeah. Here you can see. Now I have 14 AVAX in this account, and I did this outside Odoo. I did this through Remix ID and MetaMask. Sorry, MetaMask. And now I will do the same. I will interact with the smart contract. Let me check. Was testing in the future here. Smart contract here. But this address. Address. So some here, storage. This. Just let me check one thing. Yeah, it's here. I'm checking the build of this smart contract because it's the same AVI. Yes, I have it here. And here is the AV. Copy the AVI code. Let me check what is wrong here. Okay. We check why it's not working. Oh. Okay, something went wrong here. I will do the opposite. I will click here the smart contract. Compile.
There are only a few minutes left.
Few minutes.
Yeah, it's 33.
Okay.
2 minutes actually.
2 minutes. Okay, I will. Okay. One thing I wanted to mention before the meeting is over is that the next steps should be the blockchain to share documents. And my plan is to use this blockchain, IPFS blockchain, because it is a good solution. I think it has a good framework. So my plan is to develop the integration between this, using this blockchain, and I will share with you guys the repository when it's done. Maybe we can. I think we are done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Agustin. Very interesting presentation. We have a few minutes for questions. I don't know if there are some for the audience. Don't hesitate to raise your hand.
Okay.
In the meantime, I have one. I don't see questions in the chat so far. Maybe I have a question. Could you share some ideas of concrete applications of using that from inside Odoo? You plan integration with accounting or with supply chain?
Yeah, I mean, like the idea is using the contract module. I mean, this is something that interesting topic. If you are able to share contracts and store them in the blockchain, really contracts, not the smart contracts. I mean, the contracts that are legal contracts or between different parties. I think this would be interesting to use it in this application, because it allows
be used to sign contract between different parties.
Yeah. You can in a smart contract you can set whatever you want. You can define the owner of the contract, who is involved in the contract. You can set what kind of data you want to store. That's why we need to use two different blockchains. One to handle the smart contract statuses and which operations are able to do the different participants, but also you need to use a special blockchain to store data like a PDF file or an image, because you can store whatever you want in the blockchain, but it's expensive. If you want to store, for example, images in Ethereum, is super expensive.
Yeah,
that's why you need to use another blockchain that has another purpose. For example, this IPFS, but also you have a Filecoin and I think BitTorrent. So you have different solutions, but I think this one is the best for to build something. And it's I think it's the first step to build some great things, because it doesn't it's not restrict to Odoo. You can use this and also in different technologies. You can use this with Node.js, with I don't know, Java. This doesn't depend on the framework or the ERP. This is stored in the blockchain, and once it's there, you can interact with it with many different tools.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'll check in Discord if there are questions. Doesn't seem so.
It's a new topic. Yeah. I present the same thing in Odoo, in the Odoo talks, and it was, I mean, it's super technical. That's why I think it's not that popular right now, but it will be in the future, I think. I hope.
Yeah. It's sure that many people are not familiar with blockchain, and that's why it could be interesting to show concrete applications of what it can do. Definitely. All right. So if there are no other questions, thank you very much, Agustin. Now
thank you, guys.
We have a 15 minutes break, and after that, at 10 to 4, we have Rafael Valli who is going to present us an approach to import and export XML data using the Access Data mapping system. So thank you very much, and see you soon for the last part of these OCA days. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Bye.